Oh, in answer to a question that you had 4 days ago, Killer's Game comes out in September.
Cool. I don't remember that at all. Much like how I don't remember a lot of the movie that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. No, it came up during the preview, the Dave Bautista Palm Clemente Hitman movie.
Oh, right.
Because it just said coming soon. Yeah, soon as September.
Okay, fair enough.
Welcome to Under the Bridge, everybody.
Welcome to Under the Bridge.
I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And I am Greg, aka Greg.
And this is our podcast where we talk news of the pop culture variety. Sometimes comic news, sometimes gaming news, pretty much always movie news, and also pretty much always a movie review. So, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that like button, and smash that bell.
I was to say that was a pause.
No, there wasn't. There was no pause whatsoever.
Yes, yes, do those things, because unlike a particular movie, there is no rest for the wicked. Or is there?
What?
Making a joke about the Borderlands movie.
Yeah, but what does Cage the Elephant have to do with...
Oh, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked is used in the intro for the first game.
Oh.
And has also become moderately synonymous with the franchise. We'll get into that. I'm sure I'll talk about that in particular more later on.
Oh, see, I associate that song with Lucifer because it was all over the Season 1 marketing. It was in the first episode, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So that took me a second, but thank you for explaining.
Fair.
I got some sad news that I just got today to kick things off.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we must mourn the loss of Rachael Lillis, a voice actress who is probably best known as the voices of Misty and Jessie.
Right.
The original Misty and Jessie in Pokemon.
Right. Yeah, no, I saw that on my feed earlier today. It's just like, oh, that's a shock.
Yeah, she also voiced Jigglypuff in some of the games, some of the movies, like Detective Pikachu and the Smash Brothers games.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yes. Man, she's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I've never seen. I'm familiar with Revolutionary Girl Utena, but only by name.
Yeah, she's apparently had spent a lot of time in Hunter x Hunter as a couple characters.
Oh, they're gonna come for you. Apparently that's not how you pronounce it at all.
Wait, what?
I think it's just Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, though. I want to say 25 episodes in or something, and then I just couldn't take it anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got 25 episodes more than me in, because I haven't watched a single second of that show.
Maybe it wasn't even 25, I don't remember. Hey, any fans of Hunter x Hunter listening to this? I got to the part where they were gonna rescue Killua from his family mansion or something, and then his family just let him go of his own accord, and at that point I was like, when is anything substantial gonna happen? And then I flipped the table.
Okay, so it was basically when you made me watch Green Lantern. Or no, not Green Lantern.
Oh, Arrow.
Arrow, yeah.
Yeah, you only lasted 3 episodes.
I only lasted 3 episodes, because it's just like they lost to a guy with a bow and arrow, and you have MP5Ks, and I'm just like, you have guns! You have submachine guns that fire at 800 rounds a minute, and you lost to a bow? What the hell is this? Alongside other the familiar things that happen. Based on the time that I checked the Arrow subreddit and saw that everyone mutinied against the show, I have a feeling I made the right choice bowing out when I did.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, getting back to
But this
Rachael
is not
Lillis.
about that. This is not about Arrow.
No, that hurts.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get a little personal. Misty was one of my first 2D crushes ever.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I feel like she was a lot of boys' 2D crushes of our particular vintage.
Damn straight. Now, I've been trying, when it comes to celebrity deaths, I've been trying hard not to go too much into details because it's really none of our business. But, in this particular instance, I'm going to do it. Because I think it helps underscore a recurring theme on this show. Which is that a few specific people probably make entirely too much money. And by probably, I mean definitely. And by certain people, I mean mostly executives. But...
Okay, go off, King, I guess.
And the flip side of that is that most other people don't make nearly enough money.
Right.
Case in point, the apparent cause of death for Rachael Lillis was breast cancer. And just in May, her sister made a GoFundMe campaign to help with care. That's crazy.
Considering how many jobs she's had in voice acting, and she's played one of the most acclaimed characters in one of the most acclaimed anime series of all time. That's nuts.
Yeah, no, that's just... I don't know what that's a more scathing indictment of. How much voice actors get paid in terms of residuals or healthcare. Probably both? Probably both.
I would say both, because it's a generally open secret that a lot of voice actors do not make a lot of money.
No, they don't. Which is a real shame, because that takes a lot of skill because you have to match lip flaps or hope that the editors are good enough where they can sync it up. You have to emote exclusively with your voice. No eyes, no nothing.
Yeah.
You're acting from nothing because there's no set. There's no... You probably get some of the animation maybe, depending on what kind of project you're on, but...
Yeah.
That's not easy.
No, it's hard. And I will say, I regularly make reference to and quote the bloopers for Ace Attorney, but one thing I will say is that watching those bloopers very much made me realize and respect how difficult voice acting is. Especially when you do fun things like having your own bloopers match with the voice lines or like the character mouth movements. That takes a certain kind of talent.
Yeah. It does.
Voice acting is not an easy gig, and for a lot of shows and a lot of IPs, a bad voice actor will instantly kill it. So, outside looking in and all, it is crazy how little money voice actors make on the overall, considering how paramount their role is to a lot of projects.
Me looking at the list of projects Rachael Lillis was on, what the heck is Night on the Galactic Railroad? Click on the page, this is what I get for the poster.
Oh my.
Now I have to know.
Yes. Wait, I want to say there... No, I'm thinking of something different.
The Backyardigans.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Just something about those cats makes me think. I don't know.
You know what? As much as I hate to say it, I can see it.
No, don't give that to me. That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Blue Penguin could be used in so many slasher movies in that show.
That's pretty good.
He very much looks like the one that would be the one to like lose his shit and just start killing people en masse. If I'm honest. I don't even know what sound that penguin makes. It's just like smack or
they talk.
You just hear
speak English.
Oh, does he talk? Oh, do they talk? Okay, well I don't know what he sounds like. It'll be like you just hear the penguin, and then you just hear with the still happy look on his face, just saying "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," and then just shoot someone square in the head.
Oh man,
this is not the kind of stuff to probably be saying while we're attempting to mourn a person, is it?
No, but I think that's pretty on brand. We're terrible at this.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Any attempt at real sincerity just leads to bad, stupid jokes.
Yes. Although we are genuinely trying our best to be sincere here. Make no mistake about that.
Maybe not serious, but definitely sincere.
Yes, and it is a massive shame regardless. That is sad. Sad indeed.
So now, let's move on from the death of a human being to something much less substantial. The probable oncoming looming death of a giant fucking corporation.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Warner Brothers Discovery stock hit an absolute all-time low, apparently.
Is that correct?
Yeah, because, while doing evaluations, they reported that they overvalued their TV networks.
Oh boy.
To the tune of $9.1 billion.
That's a lot of zeros.
Resulting in an overall $10 billion loss, I want to say this quarter?
Wow. Like, just over the quarter, not even the fiscal year.
It's either the quarter... I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it?
I mean, it doesn't matter. That's bad either way, but if they lost $10 billion over the course of a quarter, that's horrific.
Yeah, let me double check now.
Mm-hmm.
For the period. Yeah. Which included a $9.1 billion non-cash goodwill impairment charge. Huh. This just ties back into executives get paid way too much. Because, like, I know $50 million's a drop in the bucket compared to the $10 billion they're losing, but...
Yeah.
You know what $50 million is? $50 million!
$50 million is literally life-changing for 99% of Americans.
Yeah. 99% of most people, I'd say.
Yeah. No, that's wild.
Even if you assume, well, what if it's just $50 million US? You could get it exchanged.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely get an exchange.
You can
and
get
it'll
it
still
exchanged.
be something. It'll be something ridiculous.
It might require some travel, but you could get it exchanged.
Yeah.
Maybe have a lighthearted romp of an adventure movie while trying to get your $50 million US exchanged for a usable currency in your country of choice.
Starring Adam Sandler.
Why?
I don't know. He seems to be someone that pops up in a lot of weird-ass travel comedy movies with very strange premises and even shakier foundations, so... He's one of the people I think of when I think about movies like that, more accurately. The star of 2006's Click.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Okay. I can see it.
Yeah, no.
According to Warner Brothers Discovery, the triggering events for the goodwill impairment were uncertainty about NBA rights, which they're set to lose starting next year.
NBA as in, like, the National Basketball Association.
Yeah, I think they're losing the TV rights to it, to Amazon.
Oh, okay. Huh. That's amazing, honestly.
Yep.
How bad does your product have to be to lose out to... I know Amazon does a lot of crazy things, but considering you have a national TV network on cable, you have to do real bad to lose out your thing to Amazon, I feel like.
Nah, because Amazon's got a lot of money.
Fair.
They're pretty loaded.
Yeah, no, understandable. But yeah, that's a big kick in the balls right then and there.
So, Zaslav, the old Zazzle Dazzle, the old one of my big nemesis.
The old Zazzle-Roo.
Went up there with Snyder and Willie Nelson Peltz. Huh.
No, this is the Under the Bridge cinematic universe in its foundation.
All my arch enemies who don't know I exist coming together to torment me.
Yeah, it's like...
Zack Snyder, not Scott Snyder, by the way.
Yes.
But anyways, at an investment conference, Zaslav said that the company will be opportunistic in seeking merger and acquisition deals in the next 2-3 years. That's great! What? Team up with another company that's billions of dollars in debt!
Man, is Warner Brothers shaping up to become the cinematic version of Sears? Because that's the vibe I'm getting. Or no, I think in that case, that makes Warner Brothers Kmart.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
You know what happened to Rooster Teeth, where now the company doesn't exist anymore, and they're pretty much auctioning off various parts of it, like Ruby ending up with Viz Media?
Right.
Don't be surprised if that happens with Warner Brothers.
Fair and valid.
Either Warner Brothers and Discovery go their own separate ways again and try to manage their debt separately, or the whole thing just gets scrapped, parted up, somebody gets DC, somebody gets Honey Boo Boo, somebody gets Cartoon Network, which, speaking of, they brought the Cartoon Network site down. Now it just points you to Max.
No kidding.
Gross.
Jeez. Some people are gonna get DC'd from DC.
A C and D.
A C in DC.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, this is gonna
terrible.
impact so many fucking people.
It is. Oh, that's disgusting. I looked it up too. I went to Cartoon Network's website and just go straight to Max. Yeah, you're right. It's disgusting, that.
Nope. Oh, God. Okay, I'm gonna move on to something else that's making me mad.
Oh, boy.
Apparently, director Todd Haynes was working on a as-of-yet untitled gay romance film that was set to begin filming in just a couple days.
Really?
Yeah, and the reason why this is now important is because Joaquin Phoenix, who helped develop the screenplay and was attached to star, has dropped out.
Huh! Is that right?
Yes. Now, this is being reported by Variety, so I'm inclined to trust it. However, they've had some muck before, so who knows? But according to this,
they fumbled the ball.
Yeah, but they are still a trade publication, so I'm going to trust this, at least in the interim, until conflicting information comes up.
Right.
A source close to the production told Variety that he got, quote, cold feet. Now, the thing is, the crew is apparently speculating that it had to do with the graphic nature of the movie's sex scenes, but other sources have emphasized that Joaquin Phoenix is the one who brought the project, concept and all, to Haynes in the first place.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if Joaquin Phoenix had a problem with the graphicness of it, considering that he played the weird-ass Napoleon Bonaparte that we saw earlier this year.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah.
At least one producer shared an article on Facebook and said, a version of this did happen, it has been a nightmare, and then proceeded to delete the post, but...
Nice.
They also emphasized that Phoenix brought the project to them, specifically.
Right. As I say, the lawyers see that poster, it's like, no, shut the fuck up.
And it gets even worse because it seems like a lot of the funding, pretty much most of the funding, was hinged on having Phoenix attached to it. So now, without him, the project isn't likely to continue, leaving a bunch of people out of work, and also the losses could be as high as 7 figures.
That's ridiculous.
People have been blacklisted for less.
Yes, they have. Absolutely.
And...
what the hell?
I'm not saying there isn't a feasible reason to drop out of a project like this that close to filming when the whole thing is riding on you, but it would take a really compelling reason, like some sort of personal tragedy or something, and even then, when you weigh the cost against that, I'm still inclined to say, man, what the heck?
I feel like it's one of those things where at that point you'd better have a damn good reason to, well, not be blacklisted, basically.
And if the source is correct, and it was just cold feet regarding the content of the film that you brought and you helped get off the ground, go fuck yourself, frankly.
Yeah, it's like a thing of, like, they say it's like it comes with the territory. It's like, no, dude, you are the territory. You are the thing that created this, so you don't really get to bow out and be like, you know what, I'm not feeling this. It's like, you made it. You've thought of the idea. What the hell? And a bunch of people are writing on you following through with it. If that is the case, then that's pretty awful.
The more I think about it, the angrier I get, and the more I start thinking maybe I don't need to go see Joker 2, Joker but French, but then I think there were better reasons to not see movies that I have still seen the movie anyway.
Right.
Is that where I want to draw the line? But also I didn't like Joker, so that makes it easier. But then also Cinema Synergy could have been about Joker, because I think it would have been really funny to go on a big tear about how much I hate that fucking clown movie.
This is our episode of Cinema Synergy. What it really is Cody ranting about Joker while I sit in the movie theater with popcorn like Michael Jackson.
But no, if this is true, fuck Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, even though it's reported by a publication, I hate to feed into speculation like this, but this wouldn't be the first time he backpedaled on something, because he was originally in talks and I think actually agreed to play Doctor Strange. And then he backed out pretty soon before they were going to announce him, forcing them to pivot to Cumberbatch instead. And don't get me wrong, I think Cumberbatch is a better Doctor Strange than we would have gotten with Phoenix.
I think that particular move was to the benefit of everyone overall. God, imagine. I don't particularly dislike Joaquin Phoenix in the very few things I've seen him in, but I could not see him being a long-term fixture within the MCU.
No.
That would be as cursed as Nicolas Cage playing Superman.
I'd rather that. I think Nicolas Cage would come at it with real sincerity. I don't know if it would be any good, but I think he'd certainly make an honest swing at it.
Right.
It's not... Nicolas Cage does a lot of things, but he does not generally phone things in.
Fair enough.
Which isn't to say Phoenix does either, but I feel like, I don't know, it's different. I feel... Obviously, yeah, this just in on Under the Bridge. Nicolas Cage is a different actor than Joaquin Phoenix. What the fuck am I even saying at this point?
Yeah, it's like they are different actors. No, they did not come from the clone facility. They are...
Corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures.
Yeah, they did not come from... Oh god, what planet are the clones from in Star
Camino.
Wars?
It's Camino.
Yeah, they did not come from Camino.
Is it Camino? Is it Camino? Because Camino would be like amino acid, and that feels clever. But it also feels too clever for prequel Star Wars, you know? Just
a tad. I've always called it Camino, so...
Now I feel like I might have heard it said Camino, but...
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
Kamehamehamino.
Okay.
Kamehamehamina. Is that a thing? Has anybody made that a thing? If not, we need to make that a thing. I don't know what we'd make it a thing for, but, I mean, apparently there's a big dust-up over who's got rights for Dragon Ball to what, so why don't we throw our hats in the ring? What do you got to offer? Kamehamehamina.
Genius! No one has ever thought of that before. It's like, no one's thought about that before in, like, the 40 years that Dragon Ball's been a thing? Fuck no!
This just turned into a Mr. Peanut Butter idea from BoJack Horseman. A spaghetti strainer that is also a hat, the TV show.
Right.
Anyways, D23 happened.
Indeed it did, and you actually kept up with it. I genuinely had no clue what was going on this weekend.
I kept up with it a little bit. I can only take so much cynical corporate branding celebrations.
Look at all this money that we're making.
Especially because a lot of things made me a little sad.
Fair.
Tell you what really didn't, though. Okay, yeah, never mind, some things did, but Pixar.
Okay.
Pixar was pretty encouraging.
That's good.
There were a lot of trailers shown. In fact, the entirety of trailer time was Disney related, but we'll get to it.
Right.
We're getting an Inside Out spin-off, functionally, for Disney Plus, and it's Inside Out...
Please tell me it's about the parents.
No, it's Dream Productions.
Hmm.
So I guess it's gonna be about the theater of the mind, in a sense. The studio that makes the dreams inside Riley's head.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's gonna be set between the first movie and the second movie, and it's gonna release in 2025.
Is this gonna be like a movie, or is this gonna be a miniseries?
This is a show.
Okay.
Pixar's also doing their first ever original long-form series in the form of Win or Lose, which, oh, there was a trailer. I didn't watch it. I think it's about baseball. It's about some kind of sport.
I'd say I didn't watch it either.
In our defense, there's a lot of trailers and we had to cut something, so it might as well be that.
Yeah.
More distressingly, Toy Story 5. It's still happening.
So, I saw the 25-second kind of official confirmation teaser thing, and the way that Jessie just runs up into the camera and winks is genuine nightmare fuel, especially with the sound that comes from her wink.
Yeah, no, because these are toys, remember? Remember, guys? Remember?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh, man. And then, apparently this movie's going to be about the toys finding their job of entertaining kids becoming harder because of the rise of electronics, which, hey, you know what? That would have been a really interesting thing to make a movie about 20 years ago when it was first starting.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Also would have, as someone who has a young person in the family who is starting to have electronics become a more entertaining part of their life, for lack of a better description. That also would have worked really well when Andy was like 5 years old.
Yeah, no, it would have. And also apparently there's gonna be an army of malfunctioning play mode Buzz Lightyears that are gonna be, I don't know if villains, but antagonists, but how does that connect? What does that have to do with toys versus tech? Why is Woody back with the rest of the toys? Why didn't you stop at 3?
Yeah, honestly, that's the main question. Why didn't you stop at 3? 3 actually had a genuinely good ending. 3 is a movie I need to rewatch as well, because I remember seeing it in theaters and not caring for it. But then it would pop up in my head every now and again. It's just like, I need to rewatch this movie, because this movie was actually better than I gave it credit for. But 3 had a good ending, a good close the thread, close the door, lock it up with the lock and key ending. And then the House of Mouse just kind of kicked the door down, shot a shotgun in the air, and just looked at Pixar and goes, I need more of these.
Put the toys in the bag!
Very good.
But Mr. Mouse, we're donating to charity. The franchise is over. It's over when I say it's over!
Now get out there and make me some goddamn money!
We've driven Marvel to the ground. You think we won't do it for you?
And we did it faster with them!
We put a Star Wars movie a year out!
Damn.
Content! But I don't really think they ruined Marvel. I just think there was a little bit of a dip in pacing and hyping and maybe a little bit of quality control. But you know what? I'm not getting into it.
Yeah, we've already done that twice now.
We've done that extensively. Anyways, you ready for another grim reminder of how Disney's not willing to let certain things die? Incredibles 3!
Wait, really?
Yeah! Brad Bird is back for another one.
Please tell me that everyone is actually, like, older now.
Oh, one would hope. Nothing's been said. It's in very early stages of development.
Okay, because I did think it was disappointing that with how big the time gap was between Incredibles 1 and 2, that the kids at least weren't grown up.
Yeah, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, Incredibles 2 was fine.
Yeah, it was a good time.
But I feel like for that much time stewing on it and developing it, it should have been better than fine.
Yeah.
Because I say fine in the, yeah, this was alright. Not in the, I don't have a joke. I had a joke. I don't have a joke.
It's like, this is a fine. This is in the, like, you know, it's not fantastic, but it's not so offensively bad that it punches me in the face like my favorite lemon tea.
Yeah, well done.
Yes.
However, it's not all doom and gloom and rehashing things until they rise from the grave.
Yeah, because Dr. Doom isn't in this one.
Oh, no, but actually,
I'm not helping right now, I'm sorry.
No, but that was really funny. But no, Pixar did also unveil a big new project that's going to be coming out spring 2026. It's called Hoppers.
Okay.
And it's starring John Hamm, Bobby Moynihan, and Piper Curda. And it's about a young girl who could transfer her mind into a robot beaver.
I know nothing about this, and I haven't seen the thing I'm going to reference, but I feel like that's not very many layers removed from the actual isekai anime about a guy who gets killed by a vending machine, and then he goes to an anime world as a sentient vending machine.
Oh, trapped as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon. Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I feel like that's like maybe 2 layers at most removed from that isekai.
No, apparently this is an intentional thing that she does, because she wants to go undercover in the animal kingdom, and it also involves uniting the animals to fight off real estate developer plans.
Alright, I'm a little interested now.
Yeah, this sounds like it could be fun.
If there's violence in it, then I'm interested.
Just a whole bunch of violence.
Yes. Just like these cute animals, while under the direction of a girl controlling a robot beaver, just violently attacking real estate agents. That's something I can get behind.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's I need a trailer, obviously, and a lot of things got footage or teaser trailers or actual trailers that weren't revealed.
Right.
But a few did that did. That was not a statement that was worth saying. But no, I think this has some real potential here to be pretty funny.
Right.
In the Disney proper panel, it was reaffirmed Zootopia 2 is coming. November of next year.
Right.
And also, there's going to be more kinds of animals.
Huh, okay. Fair enough.
Like reptiles. For example, a snake played by Ki-Hui Kwan.
Oh, okay. That sounds neato.
Yeah, and then they also showed off a bunch of parody posters where it's all Disney and Marvel stuff, but all the stuff's been replaced with animals. And I gotta tell you, the one that I find most personally injuring, like it hurts me to look at it, and it raises a lot of questions, is Dead Mule and Wolverine.
That sounds very cursed.
Yeah, the part that's really got me hung up here isn't even the Dead Mule part. Why is Wolverine a wolf? A Wolverine's already an animal.
Right, yeah.
It's already a mammal.
Yeah.
There's no reason he couldn't have just been a Wolverine.
It's funny, because we have to do that, because no one knows what the actual freaking animal looks like.
Okay, as upset as I am by Disney's constant reminders of, look at all this stuff that we own, and we're trying to make you force nostalgic for, I do want there to be a bit in the wake of this, where 2 characters are discussing the release of Dead Mule and Wolverine, and somebody discusses, is it robbing the job from a Wolverine actor? And then they get into a whole thing where it's like, Wolverine, wolf, close enough. It's not. One's a canid, the other's a mustelid.
This wolf is taking good Wolverine jobs away from average Wolverines.
You know how few opportunities Wolverine actors get? They can't all be Jonathan the Unstoppable.
Oh my.
So yeah, Zootopia 2. I like the first one, so okay. I guess there's worse ideas.
Right.
Frozen 3.
Segueing into those worse ideas.
I don't have a deep vitriolic hate for Frozen, but I watched the first one way after it was big. A couple of years after it came out, I think. So I missed all the initial hype, and I found it to be kind of insufferable up until Let It Go, and then it gets good.
Fair.
Except for Fixer Upper, which I think came after Let It Go. Fixer Upper was a weird, uncomfortable song.
Right.
You know what? I'm tarring the whole thing with a brush by saying that, and I'm generalizing, because I also really like Love is an Open Door. Love is an Open Door is probably my favorite song in that whole movie. But I caught Frozen 1 after the hype, and Frozen 2 I still haven't seen all the way through. I've just seen bits and pieces of here and there while my niece was watching it.
I want to say I've seen Frozen 2 completely, but you could not ask me to recite any of it with a gun to my head.
I know Panic at the Disco did a cover of one of the songs in it. I've been listening to that pretty often.
Really?
Yeah. The main reason I'm cynical about Frozen 3 isn't that Frozen 3 exists, but that it was also implicitly confirmed that Frozen 4 is also happening.
Come on.
Yeah.
Damn. Don't do like the whole Avatar thing, guys.
Avatar was also there. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't care.
Fair enough.
Walt Disney Animation CCO Jennifer Lee confirmed that Frozen 3 is coming out November 2027. She also told the audience it'll take 2 films to answer all the questions Frozen 2 left off with. So, Frozen 4, it's coming.
So that sounds like bad forethought. and possibly bad writing.
Watch it secretly be building up to they got the rights to The Last Airbender from Paramount.
That would be something.
Except it's all ice. That's the one element.
Right. As I say, or it's something where it's like Frozen has its own version of Rogue One where they use an entire ass movie to answer a dangling plot hole that's been there for years.
Since Star Wars happened,
Mm-hmm.
there's really not an awful lot that doesn't involve trailers that got released.
Right.
Although they also teased Mandalorian and Grogu, but what was shown there didn't get released.
Okay, I was gonna say, I still haven't watched season 3 of Mandalorian or any of Boba Fett, but I can't imagine there's much more in their story at this point.
Well, no, but we knew they were getting a movie.
Oh, that's right, they are getting a movie. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it comes out. Was it 2026? Was it May 2026?
Oh, okay. That's gonna be the first Star Wars movie since Episode 9.
Yeah.
That's...
Oh yeah, May 22nd, 2026. All right, looking forward to that more than Avengers Doomsday. Tell you what.
Yeah.
I can't stop myself. I just can't fucking stop myself. It's such a bad idea.
You can't stop yourself, and I have done nothing to help either.
It's such a bad idea.
This man's gonna lose his mind so much that he'll be a better stand-in for Robert Downey Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just saying, I could not play Doctor Doom.
Yeah, no.
To even try to portray Doctor Doom would betray one of the main affronts of the Doctor Doom cast. Now, I'm not getting into it! I'm out of it!
Can't stop, won't stop.
Marvel stuff! The actual D23 panel didn't have a lot that actually got revealed outside of the Expo.
Mm-hmm.
There was some Daredevil Born Again footage shown. It's known that Muse is going to be one of the antagonists.
What's Muse?
I forget. I've heard of them, I just don't remember right off the top of my head, because Daredevil's fought a lot of people.
That's fair.
Bullseye's going to be in it.
Played by the same person, I imagine.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
John Bernthal was on stage with some of the other cast. Said it was a real honor to be back. Real happy about that.
Very encouraging.
Yeah. Also, Yusuf Khan, Miss Marvel's dad, is gonna be in there.
Really?
Yeah!
Okay, so I guess full confirmation that there's gonna be some actual carryover between... I know that the new show is within the MCU, but I imagine there's always a question of how much is it actually gonna interact with the MCU. And if that's the case, the answer is quite a bit.
Wait, what are they doing in New York? They live in Jersey.
Didn't the Netflix show take place in New York?
Yeah, but I mean, the Khans lived in New Jersey.
Oh. Huh. It's all New England.
Close. No, it's not. Don't you fucking dare.
There. Very good.
Of all the things. Just double take. Don't you fucking say that.
It's Cody's equivalent of Star Wars and Star Trek are the same thing when you really look at it. It's like, no, it's not. No, it fucking
not
isn't.
Even close.
Yeah.
It's also confirmed White Tiger is going to be in this. The original one. Hector Ayala.
Okay.
So that's neat. I'm all for more superheroes.
Right. The White Tiger is not going to interact with the Black Panther.
I doubt it. I mean, what... You know, funny enough, there was a point where Black Panther took over looking after Hell's Kitchen for Daredevil.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was neat. There was also a trailer for Ironheart shown. We didn't get it.
Why do they do that?
Because they want to make things special for the people who are there, which I understand. But also, it would draw up a lot more hype for projects if if the elections are out.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. No, the real news came for the Marvel Animation panel.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is where all the big stuff that probably won't matter came out.
All right.
For example, what if Season 3 has been called the final arc of the Watcher's multiverse-spanning story, which means this might be the last one?
Might.
Which feels like a complete waste of a concept.
A little bit, yeah. Because with what the concept is, there are infinite stories and possibilities that can come from it, and none of which have to be taken uber seriously either, because it's in the fucking title. It's what if.
This honestly leads into my suspicion that Secret Wars is going to end with no more multiverses, only one Earth. Because that's the only reason to stop I mean, okay, maybe the series is also prohibitively expensive, in which case that's also a reason to stop doing it, but maybe also just explore cheaper animation styles?
Yeah, just a little bit.
But, that really does make me think we might be looking at no more multiverse, which, on the one hand, good. On the other hand, that's such a comic booky thing to have, that it feels like a waste to get rid of it after just, 6 years?
I mean, if they're getting rid of it uber quickly without fully expanding on it, then it's like, yeah, they are drawn from the comics then, aren't they?
Oh, you're right.
I say as someone who has said on many occasions, I don't read the comics, but I feel like that's on brand.
We also have confirmation Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight will be in Season 3, as will Monica Rambeau, still voiced by Tiana Paris.
Okay.
Ironheart will be making her first animated appearance in this show.
Okay. Cool.
And one of the episodes is going to have Sam Wilson's Captain America leading the Avengers piloting a bunch of mechs.
I mean, hey, I'm all for Avengers by way of Armored Core. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw clips of that from, I think, a little teaser, but it's good to have that confirmation.
Right.
We also got some updates on Eyes of Wakanda, the Black Panther spin-off show. It's going to be a 4-part series. Apparently, it's going to be set across different time periods. I don't know if it's episode to episode, but it's going to be set across different time periods chronicling the history of Wakanda.
Okay.
And an Iron Fist is going to be in it.
Oh, we're a Iron Fist?
An Iron Fist. We don't know if it's probably a past Iron Fist. I doubt. If they bring back Finn Jones, I'm going to actually have a cow.
Okay, I was going to say, because I was under the impression that Ironheart is a relatively new character within Marvel.
No, Iron Fist.
Or Iron Fist. Oh, wow. Okay.
Iron Fist.
Man, I literally forgot about Iron Fist, and I don't think I'm alone in doing that.
You and everybody else!
And I don't think I'm unjustified for forgetting about that.
I'll never forget that plane crash is seared into my brain. Once an episode, boys! Once an episode!
Some people have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Cody has PTSD, plain traumatic stress disorder. That's probably not a great joke in the long run.
I mean, it is on brand for us. We also got an update on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we do know that Hudson Thames is going to be reprising his role. He was Spider-Man in What If, because they can't use Tom Holland.
Right.
Apparently, Peter gets his spider bite in this series when Doctor Strange and some big monster who a lot of people think are Venom and some other people think might be Blackheart are fighting and tumbling through a portal, and then a mystical spider falls out.
Okay.
Man, fuck.
Yes.
I'm not sick of the multiverse, but fuck the multiverse in regards to Spider-Man specifically. Fuck the Spider-Verse. I'm so fucking sick of it. Spider-Man can't even stub his fucking toe without ending up in a multiverse now. I'm so sick of it. The character does so many other cooler things instead of, let me create 50,000 fucking spider sodas. Fuck you.
I mean, hey, better that than getting, like, his powers from a radioactive cobra that turns him evil.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Well done. Coleman Domingo is going to be playing Norman Osborn, who is Peter's mentor in this. They're apparently positioning it as sort of a what-if on the Sacred Timeline MCU, where Norman Osborn mentors Spider-Man instead of Tony Stark. But that doesn't pan out because all kinds of characters that don't seem to exist in the MCU yet are popping up, like Nico Minoru and Amadeus Cho.
So this is literally What If at home, then?
It's just... It's definitely not a what if, I'll tell you what. And it's part of my frustration with what if as a concept as Marvel has done it, where they don't actually seem interested in using what if to explore the speculative idea of what would happen if the MCU tacked on in a different direction and instead just do fucking whatever, man, who cares?
Right.
Also, Marvel Zombies is confirmed to be 4 episodes, which is a little depressing.
Oh, I figured that'd be one of those things where, considering I know roughly how Marvel Zombies was received, because it wasn't received very well, right?
It's not my favorite episode of What If, I'll tell you what, but that's mostly just because it's too damn short.
Oh, okay. I figured that was one of those things where that's about as much time as it needs, if anything.
It's too damn short, and also nobody stops making jokes, which I get it's on brand for Marvel, but for a fucking zombie invasion where everybody's dwindling down one after the other, maybe shut the fuck up for a second, huh?
Right.
Like, comment, subscribe, but then shut the fuck up.
Right.
I'm gonna make that a thing.
Right. Put it on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt.
It's like, hey, we have merch. This is our shirt.
Someday. Maybe someday. I feel like that's it.
Right.
I feel like it's all I had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, 9 Inch Nails is doing the music for Tron Ares. Who cares? Jared Leto's in it. Poison, dead on arrival.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Let's go to trailer time.
Let's do trailer time.
It's trailer time again. We've got movie previews to watch. It's trailer time again. Oh boy. So we got our first trailer for Snow White, the live-action version, but everything looks CGI.
Yeah, especially the dwarves.
Everything looks so overly produced in this case, and I hate to say it looks like... I hate to say this, I don't want to say the movie was filmed entirely on green screen, because, as I've seen before, it is possible for me to mistake real objects for CGI, but I guarantee that's because too much CGI was layered over it to get an exact result they want, and it looks uncanny, and that looks like exactly what happened here. But... that a spoiler? I feel like everybody's seen Deadpool and Wolverine at this point.
Alright. You're not wrong. But
I'm probably gonna bleep it. I'll bleep it to be safe.
You'll bleep it to be safe, but let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what this man said was not incorrect.
Yeah. Thank you. I needed that validation. No, I don't understand. I don't get this. I've seen enough of these live-action remakes where I just... They're really starting to upset me now.
The cynic in me still very much sticks with the idea of this is how they're making... How we had these movies as kids, as animated movies, that's what these are for the kids now. Where I very much am with you that the answer to that is didn't just reissue those movies or make them easier to get hands on and watch.
Use the Muppets!
Use the Muppets. What?
Use the fucking Muppets!
I don't know about I don't know if I agree with use the Muppets.
They're not doing anything with the Muppets! They want to do live-action versions of Disney movies? Fine! Mash it together! Muppet versions of Disney classics! Come on!
Yeah. Okay, you know what, that's fair. That I could see that actually working out pretty well.
I've done my pitch for Snow White. You could literally have Miss Piggy be the evil queen and Uncle Deadly is the magic mirror. Easy!
Right. Yeah.
Sweetums is the huntsman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, this looks like I've seen it.
Yeah, that was my I watched this, I was just like, this is... Wow, I have no feelings whatsoever towards this, do I?
I've seen it back when it was literally groundbreaking.
Yes.
I want to say first feature-length animated movie in the English-speaking world, or maybe just in the United States, I don't know. Every time I think I've narrowed down Snow White's superlative, it turns out that some other country beat them in some other department, so...
Right.
I want to support Rachael Zegler, so maybe I'll still see this, because I like Rachael Zegler.
Right.
She's good.
Indeed.
And... No, I was gonna say, how bad can Gal Gadot be as the evil queen, and then I remembered Wonder Woman 84.
Wait, that's Gal Gadot?
Yeah, that's Gal Gadot.
Holy shit! I did not realize that was Gal Gadot at all.
No, that's her.
Oh, damn, that's, You know what? I was rewatching some clips of Fast and Furious, the fourth movie, which is the one where her character gets introduced in the franchise as a whole, and my brain just went, what is Gal Gadot up to nowadays? And that answered my question.
Yeah, being the evil queen in the Snow White movie.
Damn, I did not realize that was Gal Gadot. That's funny.
This is not my least favorite trailer that we saw, but
we'll get there.
It's not, I don't think it looks very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the very least, I don't see anything meaningfully distinguishing from the original.
Right.
And the amount that probably had to be spent to make this, just, I don't know. Go radical, go big. Take some big swings.
Yeah.
Do some wacky shit, like Cruella!
Yeah, honestly.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a little annoyed that Cruella doesn't end with her in a spot where it feels like she could be the puppy kidnapping evil bitch who we love, but I still like that movie! That was a fun movie!
That was a great movie. Dalmatians killed
their mom. Because you know what?
Mom.
It's different! Dalmatians killed their mom! It's different!
Yeah, it's very different. It's a very different retelling that also doesn't feel like it's far removed from the original idea.
Take a big swing, go for it.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Indeed.
Make it a fully balanced breakfast, nuts and bananas and berries. We got a trailer for Moana too!
Yeah, we did. I don't feel nostalgic for this at all, I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I mean, I like this trailer better than I like the first trailer. I'll give it that.
Yeah, especially since it shows a little bit more as well.
It gives me more confidence that this is going to feel like a movie and not like a reworked television series that it originally was.
Yeah.
But also, if I never have to hear another joke about, oh, hey, look, the pig's coming this time, then I'll die happy.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just like, why is the pig always the butt of the jokes?
No, because see, they keep doing that because they had the pig all over marketing and merchandising for the first movie, so naturally people were confused and maybe even a little bit upset that the pig ended up not actually being a prominent animal sidekick. So now all the jokes that they're making in this movie are like, there, see, the pig's coming along this time. You happy? And it's like, well, the problem wasn't the pig didn't come along, the problem was you made it seem like the pig was going to be a bigger deal than it was.
Oh, okay. I was to say, like...
A pig deal, if you will.
No. I guess that explains it, especially with the whole joke she made where it's just like, you wanted to come here. It's just like, alright.
Yeah, no, that's what that whole thing is about. It's them poking fun at their own marketing blunder. And after a while, it starts to feel a little insincere and a little inorganic and a little blaming the audience for expectations you created, which... And it wasn't even that big a deal! It wasn't even that big a deal!
Yeah.
But you're making it a big deal! So now I'm gonna make it a big deal!
You know what? The only thing that really got, like, a significant reaction out of me because like I said, overall this looks fine to me, is at the very end when they're trying to fight the coconut people, and then she gets tranked at the end, and it's like...
That was pretty good.
You see 3 tranks on her back, and then it just shoots a 4th one into her butt, and I'm just like, alright, that's just a dick move.
That's just targeted harassment.
She's already going down, and I'm just like, oh, fuck off, dude.
It's pretty cute she's got a little sister now.
Oh yeah, no, the little sister's adorable.
And the ocean looks like it's still a bro.
Yes.
Or a sis. A sibling. A sib.
A wing ocean.
Yeah. But also, yeah, I could see where this was probably going to be, I don't want to say a pilot for a series, but it just based on the premise, it's like, okay, yeah, I could see where the crux of this was, kind of like Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Right, yeah.
God, Atlantis 2, what a... Anyways, no, this one I'm decently looking forward to, and I want to say it's out in November?
Oh, wow, that's actually sooner than I anticipated.
Yeah, November 27th. Happy Thanksgiving-ish?
Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna go see a movie on Thanksgiving Day, but still.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I've got other things to do.
Right.
No, wait, yes, it is. Technically, it's the day before Thanksgiving, is the 27th.
Right.
Anyways, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
We got a trailer for Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Oh, these kids are fucked.
I like this a lot. This looks charming. This looks like a fun time.
Oh no, I am very much eager about this and curious to see where it goes. But it's just the thing of, I have a lot of questions about the world these kids come from, considering there's relatively normal looking houses and cars and stuff like that in Star Wars. And it's like, I don't think these are things that have ever really been explored in depth before. The closest thing we have to stars is like during the whole ship chase scene in like episode 2.
Yeah, but I mean, they can't all look like Coruscant and shit.
Fair enough. No, it looks cool. I'm interested in it. I still have an interest in Star Wars on the whole, so it got my attention right away.
The Acolyte was good.
I still need to watch The Acolyte.
Do it. It's good.
I couldn't help but say out loud, like, when the one kid is shooting on the gunner seat on the starship, it's like, alright, our little one's already got a body count, let's let her rip.
Also, they got the little Max Rebo buddy.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. No, this looks like a fun... This looks kind of like if around the time that the original Star Wars trilogy had come out, obviously not in terms of effects, because it's very much got a modern sensibility in terms of lighting and effects, but
right.
If you were going to release a more explicitly kid-oriented Star Wars adventure movie at the same time as the original trilogy, this would be that.
Right, yeah.
To the point where I'm actually a little disappointed when Jude Law's Force user character shows up. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess that is how one would distinguish this from any other sci-fi project. Put in a Force user. Okay, I was kind of hoping maybe we weren't gonna do that.
Right.
And maybe instead of like Jedi or Sith or dark side users or the Force or whatever, maybe we're just gonna have kids going on wacky adventures, maybe with some adults helping out, but like no Jedi. But this is fine. It's fine, I guess.
I mean, I'm curious to see if he ends up being a Jedi.
Oh, I'm sure he's an asshole.
Yeah, as I say, it'd be interesting if it ends up being that he's a Sith or something.
Then again, maybe they're pulling a reverse Captain Marvel on us, where they know that we know he was the secret bad guy in Captain Marvel, and now they want us to take that knowledge and think he's gonna be the bad guy here, but he's actually still a good but maybe kind of sketchy guy in this. That maybe I'm trying to get too far ahead of this fucking Star Wars thing.
I can understand why.
At least this is getting my gears turning more than Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Which looks funny, but it's also all the worst excesses of multiversal storytelling. It's everything that everybody is complaining about when they complain about the multiverse. It's just throwing random, hey, look at this, it's everything you recognize, but slightly turn on its head and different. Isn't that fucking wacky?
Yeah, I got a little bit of that vibe when they made the whole joke of how going over what happens to Luke Skywalker in, I guess, what we can describe as Star Wars Prime. And it's just a thing of, oh, we're doing these kind of meta jokes. Okay.
Yeah, we are. So I don't know, I like Darth Jar Jar. That was really funny.
That was good. That was pretty good.
Excuse me! I also thought that whatever that guy's name explaining the plot of Star Wars to alternate Luke Skywalker was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny, but it was one of those things where people goes, oh no.
Evil Ray, cool concept, although I think it'd be more interesting to watch play out with Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, honestly.
Although then again, like, Star Wars Star Wars has enough on its plate without going into live-action, speculative, what-if nonsense. Nope, none of that. No, don't do it.
Right.
Do not do it. But no, this looks funny. It just also looks like everything I'm tired of when I concede to being tired of the multiverse.
Right.
I'm not tired of the whole thing, but I'm tired of this aspect of this thing. Jedi Bob is a pretty funny name, though.
Oh yeah, quite.
And we also got a presumably final trailer for Agatha All Along.
Yeah, okay, the music in this is phenomenal, first and foremost.
I love it!
Yeah, it's good. Apparently, there was a performance of the theme song at D23, because that was right next to... When I searched up the trailer for this, that was the thing sitting next to it on YouTube.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So yeah, the theme song is good. Definitely interested to see where it goes, because it has made this a lot more interesting overall. I wasn't expecting zombie Aubrey Plaza, in all honesty.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it caught me a little off guard. It's like, oh, that's how you fit in here. Okay.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, and then it's just the thing of, yep, that's Aubrey Plaza, all right.
So I think the really interesting thing here is, because it's an Agatha Harkness show, I don't really have a lot of preconceived notions about how this is gonna end.
Right.
Because you feel like the main thing that's gonna happen is she's probably gonna betray them one by one as she gets to the end of the Witch's Road, and then when she's finally on the cusp of retrieving power, realizes she can't do it alone, tries to get forgiveness, they form a family of choice coven kind of thing, friendship saves the day, whatever. It could just end with her backstabbing them all and getting the power back for all we know.
Yeah.
I doubt it. But it's possible.
I could see it going that route, because that seems like on brand with her character at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Agatha in the comics, she's not usually a bad guy, at least not in the mainline universe, but she's also kind of shifty, and you probably shouldn't trust her, although she was also the nanny for Franklin Richards, so...
Right.
That doesn't necessarily make her trustworthy.
Yeah, That just
man.
gives it a different picture to look at.
I mean, Dr. Doom is uncle to Valeria Richards, so... Fantastic Four family tree is a little messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, no, I have no idea how this is gonna go. I can't wait for them to reveal that the teenager is actually Wiccan. That's gonna be fun.
Right.
At this point, if he's not secretly a somehow revived Wanda's kid, they gotta have a big fucking swerve coming, and I swear to God, if it's another fucking boner joke.
Yeah.
There will be hell to pay.
All hell will break loose indeed.
No, I'm excited for this. I'm glad we don't have to wait about a month, which is more than I can say for the last thing on trailer time. Mufasa the Lion King. Fucking hate it. Really looking for any excuse not to watch this.
There could only be one Lion King.
That was the point where I broke. I snapped shut the fuck up at my screen. I got so mad. It's just so...
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, that.
This is peak soulless. We're only doing this because the first Lion King made the first live-action... photorealistic CGI Lion King made $1 billion fucking dollars. Thanks a lot, everybody! Thanks a lot!
And it's the thing of, alright, ladies and gentlemen, here you go, a preview of what will end up being the highest grossing movie that we've ever made, to beat out the previous highest grossing movie we've ever made. You know they're going to be hunting for that magic. Even though I've yet to see the movie, but it is a thing from everything I've read about it, it's like, how did this get them so much money?
Oh, thank God, Sonic 3's out that same weekend. I have an excuse.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh... I never thought I'd appreciate the Sonic movies more than I already did, but thank you. Thank you. I can't fucking stand this idea.
Yeah, but wait, the Sonic movie is coming out the same weekend.
It's gonna get crushed, but...
Yeah, that movie's
at least I don't have to contribute.
Right.
No, because it's just... Everything about it upsets me. The effects upset me. It's a little more expressive looking than the trailers for the original Lion King, because again, I still haven't seen the original Lion King, because every time I think about it, I think, no, I'd rather watch literally anything else. But... you don't even need to tell a Mufasa story. You don't need to go into fucking lion hierarchy bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
And then inserting Timon and Pumbaa into it so you can also turn it into a Lion King 1.5 live-action remake functionally. I'm upset.
Still don't get why they're there.
I'm very upset. How old are they?
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's just them inserting themselves into the story that Rafiki's telling and they weren't actually there, and that would be kind of funny, but...
And it would also be on brand for those two.
That requires me to watch the story and figure it out, and I don't know that I have that in me.
Right.
Let's go to box office.
Let's do the box office.
We did see the highest grossing movie this weekend, what was it, 2 weekends, 3 weekends ago? It's Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. Surprising nobody.
Yes.
$53.77 million domestic weekend, $493.9 million domestic total, and $1.03 billion worldwide. It is now the second highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, and Joker, it's fucking coming for you, you goddamn clown. I shouldn't be cheering this hard because I don't see any of that money, but I cannot live in a world where Joker continues to be the number one highest grossing R-rated movie, and I swear to fuck if Joker 2, Joker but French, comes out and it's fucking... if that French fucking breaks it, I'm gonna be so fucking irritated, especially in light of that Joaquin Phoenix news.
Right, yeah.
Anyways, I also saw the movie Cuckoo. That took 9th place.
Mm-hmm.
$3 million domestic weekend and total, no worldwide info, against a $7 million budget, so that kind of hurts. I think it deserved to do better.
Yeah, but it at least shows the potential of making money. Unlike
Borderlands, which, although it placed higher domestically at 4th place, boy.
Oh boy.
I'm seeing $8.6 million domestic weekend and total,
mm-hmm.
and a $9.3 million worldwide total.
Against I think it's reported $120 million budget.
110, 120, let's split the difference, call it 115. Either way, this movie is fucking toast!
Yeah.
Which I shouldn't be celebrating, except we'll get into it, but it's really bad!
It's very bad.
But first, I want to talk a little bit about Cuckoo, because I saw that one solo, and I think it's easier to do than going into Borderlands.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So, Cuckoo is a sci-fi horror movie. It's directed by Tillman Singer, and starring Hunter Schafer, Jessica Henwick, Dan Stevens, Martin Sokas, and Jan Bluthart. I apologize for those last two names, I have no idea. And I really don't want to give a lot away. Suffice to say that it's occupying that mid-tier of horror movies that I've seen this year where I like it. It wasn't anything life-changing or life-affirming. It didn't rock the genre in any meaningful way, but it's a solid, decently spooky little movie. The reveal's a little, and I think, weirdly enough, the trailer did a better job making the creature design look scarier, and I don't know if that's because something changed between now and then, or if it's just the very fleeting glimpses of the creature make it look scarier in the trailers.
Right.
But I found this to be very atmospheric. I found this to be very unsettling in an interesting way. The main character, played by Hunter Schafer, very well done, very nuanced. I think there's a lot of depth there. And honestly, it's really funny because I should give it more points just because it has a pretty satisfying ending for me for a horror movie. Which I feel like my least favorite thing in horror movies is always the, oh, you think you killed the monster, right? Well, haha, surprise, it's back, fuck you. Doesn't happen here.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm very pleased by. I fucking hate those pull the rug out from under you endings and how so many horror movies seem to feel the need to do those.
Right.
This one doesn't end on a fully happy note. It's still unsettling and ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
But not in that specific mean-spirited, dumbass way of, well, we wrote ourselves into a corner, what do we do for the end?
Right.
Dan Stevens is really cutting loose as Herr König? I don't know how you pronounce it. They did a whole thing of how to pronounce it, but my German is terrible.
Koenigsegg? Wait, no, that's Swedish. That joke doesn't
No, that's
fit.
not it.
That's also a Swedish name. That joke doesn't fit.
Okay. He really lets loose. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Ethan Hawke in Moon Knight, but specifically the Dr. Harrow version of Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
When he's in... You've seen Moon Knight, right?
No.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Okay, we need to fix that.
Yes,
we need to fix that just so I can show you that performance so you will understand what I mean when I say Dan Stevens is channeling Ethan Hawke as Dr. Arthur Harrow.
I mean, I don't know, is it like a dance number or something like that?
No, it's actually very... I shouldn't say let loose because he's actually decently subdued for most of the movie.
Okay.
But it's an off-putting sort of gentleness and friendliness where he's so polite and so understanding that you just know that part of it's a front and also that it's just unsettling and it puts you off your game a little bit. Because, like, what do you even do when somebody's being this nice?
Okay, I thought it was going to be like an actual dance piece because I was getting ready to reference Matt Smith's dance scene in
No,
OBS.
not even. Don't you fucking even. Don't you fucking even. It's also interesting, and I feel like maybe this part's a spoiler, maybe it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's a spoiler because it's. I'm not going to say how. But it's really funny because it got me thinking about movie titles.
Oh, really?
And how sometimes the movie title can be misleading. Sometimes it's spot on, but you don't realize. And in this case, Cuckoo is one of those movies where I thought that maybe the meaning was in one definition of the word, but it turns out it's actually in another one, and I'm not going to tell you which.
Right.
But that was a neat little swerve for me.
Alrighty.
So, this definitely isn't the best horror movie I've seen this year. Probably not even one of the best. I'm really struggling with...
like, where to place it.
Yeah, it's really funny. I've got 5, honestly, horror-adjacent movies in the in the same spot.
Nice!
It's like, okay, I liked it more than Maxine. Do I like it more than Abigail? I don't think I do. But maybe I do, because Abigail, like, just really shit the bed at the end.
Right.
If it's not top 20 of what I've seen this year so far, it's pretty damn close. And I've seen 50 movies this year, so that's actually a pretty decent accomplishment.
Yeah, fair.
Anyways, let's get into shit-talking Borderlands!
Yes, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. We saw Borderlands.
And not great.
No, not at all.
It's really funny because for as much shit as I'm hinting at with it, I really just found it boring.
Yeah, you know what? I will say, this movie is not good, and I'm going to upfront say it's not worth going out and paying money to see in theaters in any capacity, but it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. For reference, for the uninitiated, when this movie first dropped officially for the weekend, it was being described critically as unwatchable, and it legit dropped with a 0% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Admittedly, only with 10 reviews, so that's not impossible.
No, but it is, I do feel like it's unheard of.
I don't think it is, especially because it didn't stay there. If it had stayed there, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But the first 10 critics who saw it all didn't like it, that's pretty reasonable.
Fair. So, I have a different perspective on this movie, for me in particular, because I've played most of the games. The games I haven't really spent a lot of time with are the spin-off games, so Borderlands, the pre-sequel, Tiny Teacher's Adventures in Wonderland, the Telltale games. But I've played the main story of one. I never really got a chance to ever play the DLC for them, because Borderlands DLC expansions do usually add a good chunk to the overall lore of the series. But I played all of 2, quite a lot. As a caveat, Borderlands 2 is a game that I regularly describe as one of the best impulse purchases I've ever made. But yeah, I played all of Borderlands 2, and I've played and continue to play all of Borderlands 3 extensively. So I look at it with the perspective of someone who's like familiar with the games and knows what to expect, while also understanding that there's some degree of balancing that's needed for people who have never seen or never played the games or know about any of the story or anything like that. So it's like, alright, I can be more forgiving, and this movie does not deserve any of that, because this movie does a thing where it references particular events in the games that have significantly higher gravity than what's portrayed in the movie. There'll be kind of like game changer moments. It's just kind of one of those things in the movie where it's just, oh, okay, cool. Or it's kind of twist and turn certain character aspects and personalities and other details to the point where it's just straight up either this is not anything from the source material at all, or this is referencing another character. Why didn't you just use this character in their full swing? Alongside our cast of characters and actors and whatnot who, for the most part, are not really great parallels to their video game counterparts in a very, very, very jarring manner.
No, it's so crazy to me because, I mean, I haven't played any of the Borderlands games, really. I think I played Borderlands 2 with you guys one night on Steam, and that is my full exposure to this.
Right.
But for what it seems like they were trying to go for, everybody feels weirdly miscast, except Florian Munteanu as Krieg. He feels like he's spot on.
Yeah, he is, I would say, the closest overall to what the character is. He doesn't go as nutso with his voice lines as Krieg does in the games. In the games, Krieg is actually a playable Vault Hunter, and it's established. And I feel like this isn't a major spoiler because nothing of Krieg's backstory is talked about in the movie. His backstory basically contains he lost everything that he loved and everything that he cared about to the bandits and to the corporations and all that. And he's driven to such a degree of despair and defeat that he loses his mind and becomes a psycho, which is why you also have him shouting the most insane lines ever in the game. I will say, for the voice lines that Krieg usually says, they do not do that justice in the movie. But there is still one little bit of Krieg that's still left in the games, of his past self, who remembers how it used to be, how much of a loving, I think it's established that he had kids and all that, how much of a loving father he is, how much that some of him is still there. And that little bit is the only thing that stops him from going full psycho and ultimately becoming one of the Vault Hunters. The person that they get to play Krieg, from a physical and action standpoint, nails it perfectly, but I don't know, I feel like that's also a weird one to kind of get on as well, because admittedly, getting into the nuance with Krieg and his backstory is probably not the kind of thing you can easily fit in an under 2-hour movie. But at the same time, it also feels like there's no exploration of why he's doing what he's doing at all.
Also, it's kind of damning to say that he feels like the least miscast character and actually probably the one solid casting choice, when all he really does is stand around and shout random shit.
No, actually, you know what? For me, the person who actually has voice lines and does the best job of matching with the character is actually Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis.
Huh.
Yeah, because in the games, Tannis is... It's not at all explicitly stated in the game from what I remember, but it is extremely goddamn obvious that Tannis in the games is autistic and or horrifically ADHD about anything involving the Vault. And to be honest, Jamie Lee Curtis does a pretty good job matching Tannis's mannerisms and how she talks and how she acts and stuff like that. There are definitely still moments of hiccups in this movie with that, because this movie very much clearly suffers from actors and actresses having uncomfortable, not great moments, some bad, as far as putting their lines out, definitely some not great editing, and a few pace issues, to be as nice about it as possible. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis actually is pretty close to how Tannis acts in the games and how she talks, and that was one I was just like, right up until the very, very end. Alright, this is actually kinda close. Not super close, but kinda close.
Yeah, and then I feel really bad saying this, because not a bad actress by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like Ariana Greenblatt has it the worst as Tiny Tina, because she is... I know a little bit about Tiny Tina, and I am not really getting solid Tina vibes from her at all, and it's not for lack of trying.
No.
She's trying to put on that constantly insane performance, but I think partly because the script is trying to rework itself into a softer found family movie by the end of it, especially because it's PG-13 and not rated R, which feels like its own can of worms.
Yes.
But it feels like she's trying too hard to be wacky, and therefore comes across as that quirky, disaffected, yeah, I shop at Hot Topic regularly, ooh, I'm so dangerous kind of insane.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where it is a can of worms, but while I don't feel like having this movie being rated R would save it at all, I do feel like this movie not being rated R hurts Tiny Tina's portrayal the most, because in the games, Tiny Tina is batshit. Beyond batshit. Horrifically, just completely one of the most insane and over-the-top characters ever. To the point where she's actually really polarizing within the Borderlands fan base. But there's also really good reasons why she's the way she is. And honestly, if you ever decide to look into Tiny Tina's backstory, it's pretty goddamn sad. But Tiny Tina is established to be completely insane, all over the place, literally bouncing off the walls, explosions in hand. And in this, she's basically just a weird, quippy teenager.
You know, it's funny, I was talking with one of my roommates about this, and I had the realization, she's entirely too old to be playing Tiny Tina, but you know who could have absolutely nailed this performance-wise? Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie, I feel like, is that kind of manic you want, where she can, on a dime, just turn it on, turn it off, be very accommodating and pleasant 1 second, and then threatening to slice your head off the next.
I mean, I guess. I don't have any doubts whatsoever about Margot Robbie's ability as an actress, because she is a phenomenal actress, especially as her time as Harley Quinn. But with how Tiny Tina is, there are definitely moments where Tiny Tina, I would very much say, if you can believe it, becomes even more manic and personality switching than Harley Quinn does. It's not frequent, but it does happen. And those moments are usually the moments where Tiny Tina is the center of attention. It's just that Tiny Tina... But okay, by the sliding scale of morality that exists within Borderlands, which is not a lot, by the way, Tiny Tina is not a complete, evil, murderous psychopath. She's just a very flawed and very broken murderous psychopath. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. I could, mentioning Margot Robbie is one of those things where my brain goes, I would want to see Margot Robbie as Tiny Tina. I think it would be really fun. I don't know if it would be an overall improvement for me personally, though.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know much about Borderlands, so I'm just kind of firing off the hip. I will say, I definitely agree that making it R-rated wouldn't have saved it. It wouldn't have made it better, but it would have made it more interesting.
Yes.
Because with the release of this movie, I feel like 2024 now has the 4 horsemen of bad movie reactions from me.
Really?
You got Madam Web, which is a terrible movie that I only really hate it because it's Sony, and because it's born of Sony's cynical, stupid attempt to keep the Spider-Man movies going. But it's really fucking funny in how bad it is. And I have an entertaining time watching it, at least.
Okay.
You got Strangers Chapter 1, pure vitriol. Hate it so much. Everything about it offends me on a personal level. I cannot stand anything about this fucking movie, and the fact that there's going to be theoretically 2 more is just, it makes my blood pressure go up just thinking about it.
Right.
Flip side of that, you've got Boy Kills World, and I really don't think it's the movie's fault. I do not know what happened, but watching that movie, as I said, it felt like I was coming down with the flu in the movie theater. And I know it was the movie, because as soon as we were out of the theater, I immediately started feeling better.
Right.
So that movie was a chore, a slog, draining. Don't even know why.
Helped by our discussion on how do you know if your soda cup is good for the whole year or not.
Yeah. This one, I'm not going to say occupies the worst of the 4, but it is the one that I'm probably least likely to rewatch, because it's just boring.
It is boring.
It's just not even it's not even exciting bad. It's just poorly cast, poorly written. The action is way too tame for this thing that it's supposed to be. You can feel where it's been cut down by executives and producers and micromanaged every step of the fucking way. You can tell where so many people involved didn't care the slightest fucking bit about making an adaptation of the source material and just thought, here's a replacement Guardians of the Galaxy that we can put out that people will love. And it's not funny, but not in the, oh god, that's painful to listen to way, in the I've genuinely forgotten most of the failed attempts at humor because none of them fucking landed.
Right.
This movie was a reminder, fresh off of, I say fresh, but Mario was last year, but it is a reminder, not too far off the Mario Brothers movie, and Kung Fu Panda 4, I guess, which is much more recent, that no, putting Jack Black in anything doesn't automatically make it better, and in fact, there are some roles that he can't save, and Claptrap is one of them.
And that's a real shame, too, because I genuinely like not Claptrap. I genuinely like Jack Black in a lot of the things that he does. In the initial trailer, I remember us talking about it when the first trailer was shown. On the bits that we hear of his voice, it's like, alright, this actually isn't that bad. And then later on in later stuff, it's just like, oh crap, he sounds like a weird robotic Scrappy-Doo, and it does not work at all.
Yeah, in isolation, some of his lines might be funny, but because every single line out of his mouth is an attempt to be funny, and you can tell it was intended as such, it just becomes insufferable.
Yeah.
And there's one singular thing from him that I found funny. And I guess I should probably save it for spoilers if we get into that, because I don't even know if it's fucking worth diving into the details of this fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, any of the things I would have to say about spoilers with this movie, which I do have plenty of, but a lot of them tie into how this movie deviates heavily from the games and why it's upsetting for me personally. So I don't know if that's really worth having a spoiler section over, because I'm just going to straight up say, like I said before, don't see this movie.
Yeah. Wow, this might be an interesting one. One of the first movies in a while where we don't do a spoiler section because it just doesn't seem fucking worth it.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm not going to get into what it is, especially if we don't do a spoiler section, but there's a twist, and I'm given to understand that this is not a twist to anybody familiar with the source material.
Yes.
But it doesn't fucking matter, because I also called the twist very early into the movie, and then near the end of the second act, but not quite, the movie kind of solidifies it in a way of, oh yeah, that's definitely what this is. Oh, I should be feeling really clever right now, but instead I'm just thinking, you telegraphed this from orbit. The Bad Boys Ride or Die thing, where I called the bad guy from the first scene that he's in, I'm proud of that one. I had nothing to go off of in that. Yeah. I had no indication It was just an off-the-cuff, fire from the hip. Oh, we haven't seen so-and-so before. They're probably evil. This, on the other hand...
We've never seen this guy. He's got a nice-ass suit, yet he's the bad guy.
This, on the other hand... Oh, man!
Yeah.
I had it eating at the back of my brain from the moment it became a plot detail that there was going to be some kind of twist, and there was only one logical conclusion to twist it to. And then the movie just slaps a giant fucking "here it is" stamp right at the...
Yeah, and to kind of give a little bit of a hint, the big twist, the twist that is actually the driving force for the majority of this movie and what gets things going, is literally something that you learn about within the first couple hours at most of playing Borderlands 2.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't think it helps that this starts with a big exposition dump about the state of the universe and the Iridian.
The
That's
Iridians.
the one. Yeah, the Iridians. Oh, that's spelled with an E. I didn't know that. That's interesting. But...
Sorry, I know that was a delayed response, so it's just like... I don't know why that was so funny to me.
Because I'm more interested by the fact that I now know how to spell something from the games than
the movie itself.
Yeah, no, but it opens with a big exposition dump, and then there's a brief moment where they're like, oh yeah, the corporations took over everything, and you get a bunch of ad rolls and product placement for stuff, and that part of the movie, for that one little second, I was like, oh, this looks visually stimulating and interesting, I can't wait to see how they navigate this dystopian hellscape. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't fucking matter. Oh, Pandora's supposed to be the most dangerous planet in the universe. Why? We have no frame of reference. The planet she's at the beginning seems plenty dangerous based on how she gets involved in the plot, and then all this planet's got is occasional giant monsters, some Mad Max wannabe fucking psycho drivers, and that's it.
Yeah.
Supplies are never an issue. There's no problem of where are we gonna find water or food or shelter or anything. They just always seem to have that covered. It's just... For the most inhospitable planet in the universe, it just seems mildly unpleasant.
Right.
Like being stuck in Vegas, but half the attractions are closed.
Whereas within the games, your character, especially at max level, you do become the attraction by killing so many things in the just most audacious ways possible, too.
Yeah, do we just want to skip the spoiler section then, I guess?
I don't particularly feel like doing a spoiler section because A, it would be a thing where I would just be complaining about things because how much they deviate from the source material in really stupid ways, and B, because I also currently have a headache.
I mean, the first one's never stopped me, so don't let that hold you down, but I definitely feel the headache part.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to get one myself, and I don't know that it's because I'm thinking more about Borderlands, but I can't say that it's unrelated.
Yes.
So...
Yes. One thing I will leave you with is that we did get one little hint, ladies and gentlemen, of one of the conversations in the writer's room in this movie.
Yeah, you know what? We'll give this one away. Is there any way out of this that doesn't involve garbage? No, there is not. Yep, perfect. While we were in the theater, Greg then followed up with the joke said in the writer's room. And let me tell you, that probably got the biggest laugh out of me while I was in that theater.
Yeah, and it got a very strong laugh out of him, too. I was just like, I didn't think that was that funny.
Because I was just, the more I thought about it, the more true it seemed.
Yeah, and then it's like, the more the movie went on, damn, my joke was on point. Oh, no.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yes, because it is a thing. I guess it's worth mentioning. This probably should have been mentioned before we start talking more about the details of this movie. This movie has been in basically kind of a mini development hell as well. Like, I want to say the idea for it was first propped up in 2019, and then COVID happened. But with that, they were taking forever to figure out who we were going to actually have in the movie. And then they started production in 2021, and then people kept on leaving and coming. As far as, like, people involved in the production, people kept on leaving the project and whatnot. So, everything pointed to this movie being doomed from the start due to outside forces, which part of me wants to give at least a little bit of a benefit of the doubt on that, but the rest of the movie does not make up for that at all, so...
You know what? I have a Wikipedia quote here, and I'm gonna include it because this feels relevant.
Okay.
Eli Roth stated that some of his inspiration while pitching the film came from watching his French bulldog poop. Specifically.
You know what's funny? That is both horrifically damning, but also something that I could see being a character motivation within the Borderlands universe, in all honesty.
Specifically, he said, I have to look away because she gets really shy, but one day I filmed her. She had that shy look on her face, and I was like, that's Claptrap.
That's fucking weird, dude.
That's deranged.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking comment is that? How do you make that jump? How do you make that leap? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just like I can understand videotaping our animals doing weird shit or stupid shit, but not literally taking a shit.
This is the most worked up I've gotten about this movie, I think, and it's about fucking Eli Roth filming his dog taking a shit and using that as an inspiration for making the movie. The movie is inspired by a literal dog shit. What the fuck? You can't make this shit up, apparently. Jesus Christ.
Yes, that shit actually came out of the dog's ass.
Ugh. So, in summation, I think it's safe to say, and the funny part is, because we both have such varying levels of experience with Borderlands, we can say, if you're a fan of the games, don't fucking see it. If you've never heard of Borderlands, don't fucking see it.
Yeah.
Because it's just not good, and it's not even bad in the entertaining way. Just in the way that makes you feel like you wasted an hour, 45 minutes of your life, more or less.
Man, for the first time in a while, I have re-experienced what it feels like when you watch bad movies.
Yeah, no, it's not fun.
No, it's not, because I'm usually pretty easy to entertain, but holy shit.
I think I've gotten a bit more measured in my responses. I mean, case in point, 10 years ago I called Man of Steel one of the worst one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen. Or one of the worst superhero movies. Either way, boy, that was naive.
Yeah, both of those statements have been proven very false at this point.
Oh, yeah. I still don't like it, but I think my response is a lot more measured.
Mm-hmm.
This is just...
bad.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
Don't bother. But thanks for listening to us ramble about why it's not worth seeing. Hope you got something out of that.
Right.
Make sure to share the video around if you did like it, because it really does help us out.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I might be the only one who sees a movie, because the main event, so to speak, is Alien Romulus, which you have expressed you're not really comfortable seeing.
No, it's I have said before, it's like, this looks like a phenomenal movie, and I have no desire to watch it whatsoever. It's basically how my reaction was to Evil Dead Rise.
Now, there are some other options. Apparently, I've checked our theater, and it looks like there's a movie called My Penguin Friend, which you're probably not interested in.
I mean, maybe if I wanted to take my niece to the movie theater.
And then there's also a movie called Gunner. Apparently, it's got Morgan Freeman and Liam Hemsworth. Yeah, Liam.
Oh, really?
No, Luke Hemsworth. It's got Morgan Freeman and Luke Hemsworth. And it's about a war veteran taking two sons on a camping trip with their uncle. Gang of violent bikers happens.
Okay.
And guy has to save his sons.
Alrighty.
It's really funny because the website that I usually use for releases says this is just VOD and digital, but there are showtimes, so...
Huh. Okay.
I'm probably not gonna bother. I'm probably just gonna see Alien Romulus, but...
I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched a horrifically mindless action movie, and by a while I mean 3 days. So, yeah.
Either way, if not, I'll just regale you with stories of Alien Romulus. But, regardless of what we end up doing, this has been Under the Bridge with Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And with Greg, aka Greg.
And we'll catch you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!